something that there's a purpose, that you have a purpose for being here. I love what Mark Twain once said, where he said, there are two most important days in your life. The first one is when you were born, and the second one is when you discover why. But maybe you just haven't quite been able to really figure out or get clear what is the reason for your being here. What is your purpose? And I just watch people where it just, that sort of thing can just gnaw at you. And today we're going to spend some time helping you get clear about what is your purpose. Why are you here? So glad to see people rolling in. So if you are liking what you're hearing, oh yeah, Mary, that's your purpose. Answering people's prayers one day at a time. Yeah, I'm guessing that's what you're putting in there. So, and it's so good to see you, Mary. It was so much fun spending time with you and your amazing community this past weekend. So, if you're liking what you're hearing, make sure that you hit the share button and the thumbs up and the hearts, and that sort of feedback will help me know what best serves you as this amazing community. And if you want a deeper dive into a very specific spiritual success formula, then put the word purpose in the comment section, and we will make sure that we get you our information to be able to come into my free masterclass training that's coming up. My name is Felicia Searcy. It is my joy to be your partner in believing. I have had the honor of helping thousands of people around the world, and it is my joy to be here as your partner in believing in this moment. Your dream is my passion. So you have a purpose. You know you have a purpose, but you just haven't quite, quote, been able to figure out what that purpose is. And it works at you. It eats at you. It's disconcerting. It's frustrating. You kind of throw spaghetti on the wall trying to figure out what it is. And and just never can quite land on it. So you go through life feeling like you're just kind of slogging along, doing the same thing that you've always been doing, but with that gnawing sense of unfulfillment and dissatisfaction. What do? Well, I'm going to share with you 3 tips to discover your purpose. So first of all, let's celebrate the fact that you have a purpose and that you're touching that dissatisfied, that discontent, that frustrated part of you. What a remarkable awakening. So often when we don't have an answer, there's a part of us that wants to make up a story about us and the reason why we may not have an answer and why you may not have an answer to, quote, what your purpose is, and feel deficient. Allow it to diminish you. Allow yourself to feel diminished in the face of that. Before we get into the 3 tips, I want to really encourage you to celebrate yourself for being aware that there's a dissatisfaction, a discontent, knowing that there's something more here for you to do. Hey, Raquel, you're up to brilliant things. You are up to brilliant things, as everybody on this broadcast is. So celebrating the fact that you are aware of your discontent, and then to really own that you do have purpose. It's fascinating this time of year. This is the time of year of lots of graduations. I mean, what's the time of year people are graduating, right? Kids from high school and college. And I was hey, Luce, glad you're here. Luce, you are getting clearer and clearer about your purpose as well. I went to a graduation, and actually my grandson's graduation, and I was in conversations with people, some of the kids, about what the purpose was, what their purpose was. Or we were just in general conversation. And it was an interesting phenomenon that so many of the future choices that those kids were making were based on job opportunity, were based on income, were based on geographical location. I didn't really hear anybody talk about, oh my gosh, I've always wanted to do this, and I have a burning desire to help and serve in this way. I'm not saying that those conversations were not going on. I just didn't hear a lot of those conversations. When you look at what drove your decisions, ask yourself how much of your decision-making process, particularly in the area of your vocation, the work that you're doing in the world, whether it's paid or volunteer, how much of it was driven around practicality, financial, accessibility, availability, ease, and how much of it was truly driven by a very clear idea, a clear notion of what your purpose was and what was it that you wanted to do in order to be able to give back in some way, shape, or form, to bring your depth, your gifts, your capabilities to the body of humanity. Now, I can look at the list of people that are on here, and it's a delicious list. And you know, whether you're here live or watching the replay, and the thing that I appreciate about the people that are attracted to my work, to this tribe, my community, is that you all are so heart-driven. You're so heart-centered. And I would imagine that many of you were like me, that most of your decisions, particularly around your vocation, were driven by a desire to bring more, a desire to serve, a desire to bring your gifts to the body of humanity. And you are probably the ones that still question whether or not you really landed on your purpose. So celebrate the fact that you are aware of that discontent, that you're asking the question, and then let it land. That the very fact that you're breathing is evidence that you have purpose. The very fact that you're here, that there was a power that so loved you and knew that you were needed, that this power wove you into existence from the very substance of itself, which is love, because you have something so unique that only you can bring, that only you can contribute. So no, I'm standing here as your partner in believing, with my arms around you, acknowledging the fact that you're here is evidence. It is the confirmation that you have purpose. So if you know you have purpose, drop some thumbs up in the comment section, or drop some hearts in the comment section, knowing that as you do, you're owning the reality of you having purpose. Again, you may not know exactly what it is, and some of you may know what your purpose is. Yes, Raquel, absolutely. You have, and anyway, so let's get into the process. So again, if you want a deeper dive into this work and into the spiritual success formula, put the word purpose in the comment section, and you'll get information on how to register for my upcoming masterclass, where I'm going to walk you through a process of discovering your purpose, your dreams, so you can live a life that you absolutely love living. All right, so how do you discover your purpose? So first step, so it's assumed that we're celebrating the fact that you're feeling some discontent. I'm standing with you, knowing that the fact that you're breathing is evidence that you have and bring an indescribable, unrepeatable, unduplicable, if that's a word, it is now because I just said it, contribution to the body of humanity. So how do you discover that? So number one, go back through your life and think about the times when you were most absorbed, what were the activities that when you go back and you just simply take a walk down memory lane and imagine the different activities imitable. Thank you, Severina. I have to think about that word. I don't even know what it was in reference to now. I moved on. I have to go back and think. Okay, so what was the word I was trying to come up with? So there are, when you go back through your life, as a kid and as an adult, there are activities that, as you engage in those activities, you get lost. You get lost in time, that you become so absorbed in those activities that you look up at the clock and you say, oh my gosh, really? That much time went by? There's several pieces of that for me. And one of them is this, that I have to make sure that I keep a clock in view for me, because sharing and teaching and supporting people and coming alive and waking up and discovering an even greater degree of their potential and their magnificence, I get lost in it. Whether it's in a private conversation or in a group or even teaching like this, where I see your faces and I see your comments, but energetically I can feel and see, and I'm connected to you. So I can look back through my life and see where those were the times, as a kid, when I was involved in different kind of activities, even as a kid doing this sort of thing. And, going into the profession that I went into, which was teaching. I loved teaching. I absolutely loved teaching. Well, until I was complete with it. But the act of creating a learning environment to help, at that time, kids and young adults, as I taught at the college level, wake up to an even greater degree of their magnificence and watch them come alive with new awarenesses and new possibilities. So I can go back and look at the activities that absorbed me, that just swallowed me up, where I again, you just have to keep track of the time, because you become so absorbed in it that you lose all track of time. Luce, when I was thinking about this, I was thinking about you and, you out in your garden, out in people's yards, as you become absorbed in creating remarkably beautiful outdoor living spaces. And, when you talked about them in the past, how you lit up as you talk about taking your time and building and bringing outdoor beauty to the world. So right now, whether you are watching this live or watching the recording, go back and just notice, nature. When I'm out in nature, again, I have to really be mindful of the time, because when I'm out hiking, I could just keep going and then looking, oh my God, I'm 5 miles in and 2 hours in, and now I got to turn around and go back. So there are activities that when you think about them, you become absorbed. So right now, jot a couple of things down. You can put them in the comment section if you want to share with everybody, or jot them down on the notes that you're taking, because I know those of you who work with me know to bring pen and pad to track notes that come to you as you are in a high speed tone. I'm going to do a little bit of bird walk here. Anytime a group of people come together to deepen their awareness and understanding of how we create our results and to discover more of who we are are literally creating a high speed zone of creativity, of intelligence, and ability to tap into the stream of intelligence in a way that you can't really do on your own. So people who work with me know to bring some sort of writing instrument and paper with them to track those ideas. So back to what we were talking about right now, think about, what are those activities that as you engage in those activities, that you become lost in them. Maybe it's painting, maybe it's writing, maybe it's having great conversation with friends. Maybe it's walking in nature. I'd love to see, again, if you're watching this live or the replay, I'd love to see what happens for you. What are the activities that when you become engaged in those activities, it's, oh my gosh, look at how much time has gone by. As you do that, you are tapping into your highest stream of awareness, focus, attention, creativity, and love. It's evidence of the love that you're experiencing, the love transmitting through you. When we are engaged with something that brings us alive, the very fact that you're engaged is serving, because you're bringing a much higher vibration, a higher expression of love to you, your life, the people around you, and that just spreads. So, but I don't want us to stop there. So you're making a list of all of the activities, or some key activities that wake you up, that you get absorbed in. So if you can think of something, whether you're putting it in the comment section or not, go on and drop some hearts and thumbs up, and I see something in the comment section. So to help ground this and, to stay engaged with this. And if this is serving you, make sure you share this. And I would love to share my proven spiritual success formula in my masterclass that's coming up. So put the word purpose in the comment section so we can make sure that we get that information to you. All right. So now you've got a list. So my list, things that I get lost in, is one-on-one conversations or small groups where I'm really engaged with what's happening for people, in the airplane, in the airport, or anywhere that I am. Yeah, loose, watering your garden, again, out in nature, whatever it is. I want you to now think about words that describe that activity, that words that go with that activity. So loose for you, it may be that as you're watering your garden, or you're tending, you're creating beautiful outdoor living spaces, that it may be beauty, it may be solitude, it may be serenity, it may be order. There are words that describe the activities. For me, it's awareness, it's connection, it's transformation, it's vision. Those are the words that describe for me. Now, there are tons of words that describe those situations where you become most absorbed. You want to pay attention to the energy of the words as you're listing them to see which ones really bring you alive. So, number 2, identify words that go with the activities that you've described, and that describe how you feel, what your experience is when you're engaged in those activities. So take your activities and now write down a couple of words that describe that feeling and that experience. And if you've got these, go on and put those in the comment section. Or again, if you don't want to put your words, that's fine. Although it would be really, really helpful for everybody to see the different kind of words that people are coming up with. And then put some thumbs up and some hearts indicating that, yep, I can see the descriptors, the emotional, mental, spiritual descriptors that coincide with my absorbing activities, those activities that absorb me. All right, so number 1, track the activities where you just feels like your whole beingness, you get absorbed in everything that you're doing. You get absorbed in those activities. Number 2, what are some words to describe those activities that when you think about those words, there's a resonance, there's a deep recognition, there's a familiarity with those words. All right. And I'm going to encourage you to list like 5 different words. Number 3, once you get those words listed, then go back and see which 1 or 2 really pop for you. Then you want to do a 30-day experiment and begin to live into those words. So it may be that my purpose is beauty. My purpose is to bring more beauty to the world. And you're living into that. And you're waking up in the morning and say, today I'm claiming my purpose to bring more beauty, to be a witness for more beauty in the world. What will happen is that the word and the living into that word, it'll begin to talk to you. You'll begin to notice, number 1, the ways that you bring more beauty into the world. You'll begin to see ways that the universe is inviting you to bring more beauty into the world. You'll see what you've already been doing, and you'll be able to put on, does this resonate or not? And after a couple of days, you'll know that, okay, I'm getting close, but this isn't quite it. And then you can experiment with another word and put it on for a couple of days. Now, watch the paradigm, that inertia, that gravitational pull back to the familiar that may want to muddy the waters up here, that may want to throw up resistance around doing these first 2, actually all 3 steps now, that may want to keep you frozen, keep you confused, keep telling you that what if you make a wrong choice, and who do you think you are to think that you can really do this? It's fascinating. You claim a purpose and watch how everything that doesn't feel worthy of that purpose now starts talking. Who do I think I am that I can bring beauty to the world? Who do I think I am that I can help people transform their lives? It's claiming purpose is actually the act of expanding your experience, your identity, your awareness. So that's the kind of act that is going to trigger the gravitational pull back to the familiar, which is why you want to be implementing everything that you're learning on these Tuesday broadcasts that I'm bringing to you, because it's the staring down of the voice and the putting on what's more expansive and empowering that changes that pattern of resistance, that changes that pattern of confusion and unworthiness. So let's do a quick recap. You're going through and looking at the different activities that bring you most alive, where you are getting absorbed. You are absorbed in this activity that you lose track of time. Number 2, what are some words, some emotional, mental, spiritual words to describe the feeling, the experience of being absorbed, words to describe what's happening, words like beauty, transformation, spiritual connection, order, fun, zone of genius. Yes, Raquel, this is your zone of genius. Number 3, you want to live into some of these words. You're going to pick, write them down and then pick 1 or 2, and then pick 1 to live into, to do a 30-day experiment, and continuing to tell yourself, Brian, I am the man whose purpose is to, and then fill in the blank. Raquel, I am the woman whose purpose is to, and just try on different words, put on different words. Brian, I am the man whose purpose is to know my own spiritual identity, so I can help others know their spiritual identity just by being it. Maybe not a single thing that you physically do toward it, but just by being it. And watch as you try on different possibilities and give it a long enough amount of time to really be able to tell, is this speaking to me? Ideas, opportunities, confirmation, affirmation, all of those things begin to happen. You want to track those ideas. You want to track the ways that you are already living into your purpose. You want to track the opportunities that speak to you. Because this All of this are indicators that, in fact, you are landing on your purpose. Now, here's the thing. You can't make a mistake with this. Let's say your purpose is to bring more joy. And so you spend 30 days dedicating yourself to bringing more joy. And at the end of the 30 days, you say, I'm not quite sure that that's it. You have not wasted 30 days of bringing more joy. You know, you really could just pick anything and go with it, and you would be right, because whatever the word is, all of your gifts would then come forward in relationship to that word. I don't remember where it was, but there's a great story from the Jewish tradition and what the Christians call the Old Testament, where there's a group of people trying to decide something. And so they're praying and they're contemplating, and they're trying different things on for size. And then they throw the dice. they throw lots. They just basically throw the dice. Because really at the end of the day, if you are claiming purpose and not letting indecisiveness or confusion stop you from bringing your full beauty, your full glory, your full participation forward, then it really doesn't matter what you dedicate yourself to. The ways that you have kept veering back to that particular purpose. Every time I've tried to veer away, and I've never tried very hard, and I've never tried very long to, do something different than some sort of personal development training, some sort of spiritual awareness training, my life keeps bringing me back to that. Our lives talk to us. They're the signals. They're constantly sending you the signals around what brings you most alive, which, by the way, as you do that, now you're living your purpose. So walk through these 3 steps. Make a decision that you're owning your purpose. You're discovering it and you're owning it, that this is easy. And then watch what happens as you dedicate yourself to living into a word for a period of time, in terms of really allowing yourself to come alive, staring down the voice that wants to keep you stuck, keep you confused, and saying, nevertheless, I'm doing this, I'm clear, I'm owning this, I am the man, I am the woman who's bringing this level of contribution in the form of this purpose. I would love to hear what some of those are. There's a Facebook group that you all are more than happy to join. It's a public, private, anybody can join. It's a private Facebook group, but anybody can join. I guess that's the right terminology. I would love to hear, or in the comment section, put down the words that you're experimenting with, or that maybe you have clarity around what your purpose is. And if you're being fed by this, put some thumbs up, some hearts, whether you're watching this live or the recording. And again, if you want a deeper dive into a proven spiritual success formula, the one that I've used to create my amazing life as I'm living my purpose, and I've helped thousands of people around the world, put the word purpose in the comment section, and we'll make sure that we get that information to you. Oh, yeah, and my speaker notes, I write out what I'm going to say to help me organize my thoughts. So if reading this is helpful, and that's obviously, it's not verbatim, right, because I'm not reading off of it, but the key points are here. If you want these, put the word purpose in the comment section. We'll make sure that we get you my speaker notes. Big breath, everybody. How delicious it is to know that there truly is a reason for your being here. And it's easy, and it's fun, and it's joyous, and it's life-giving. And as you're living into your purpose, it's your highest form of contribution, and it's the way you live life Richard, yes. So put purpose. So speaker notes for Cal. So in order to get my speaker notes, put the word purpose in the comment section, and that will get speaker notes to you. And I think we're calling them show notes, but I'm calling them speaker notes. So if you want my notes, whatever we're going to call them, if you want these, put the word purpose in the comment section. All right. All right, everyone. So we will go live again next week. I will actually be in Washington, D.C., getting ready to go into a 4-day training with my mentors. I do these several times a year to keep honing my expertise to bring my best to you, to help you live into a life that you love, help you live a life that you love. All right, I'm the woman who inspires moms to find joy. So, Raquel, your life purpose in every area may be that you are a woman of joy. And I know that. I mean, you're effervescent. You just like a light bulb, light up a room. So that's a form that you're delivering, that you're living into your purpose. So I'm going to invite you to pick a single word, because then you can bring it into every area of your life. That's a great illustration. So Raquel, you're a woman of joy. You're a woman who brings and wakes up joy. Play with it. And of course, we're working together at a very high level. So we'll get to dig into this even more. All right, everybody. So we're going to wrap this up. Know how much I deeply love and appreciate every single one of you. It is so courageous to lean into your dream, your desire, your purpose. It is my honor to be able to serve you in this way. Again, thumbs, hearts up, share if this has served you. And if you want to join my upcoming masterclass, Purpose, in the comment section. Good. I'm glad that you're here, Raquel. So right now, just work with, I am a woman who brings joy. I am a woman of joy. And just work with that. And you get to send me an email again, because you raised that your hand for that courageous decision to work in a very personal way with me. So shoot me an email, let me know what's going on, and come to the Life Mastery Call tonight. And then everybody else, purpose in the comment section, get the notes, get how to register for the masterclass, and know how much I deeply love and appreciate each one of you. My name is Felicia Searcy. It is my joy to be your partner in believing your dream is my passion. God bless. Mwah.